Emily suggests we talk about board games on our podcast. Haven't played anything new board game wise.
Yeah, me neither. This is technically a new game for 2021. The Loki expansion.
Oh, so you got to pick a Loki character then.
I'm sure I will. Because like the rounds are fast. Like they're like 40 minutes. Yeah.
Maybe we'll play 2 rounds tonight.
We do, yeah.
I think that's a pre-show. Oh, so that means we have to introduce the podcast. We're recording, we're recording a podcast, everyone. That's what this is all about.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Above the Board with Josh
and Phil,
where we stay above the board.
Everything's above the board.
Everything's above the board. We are streaming in front of a live audience.
No, we're recording in front of a live streaming audience.
There it is.
So follow along at twitch.tv/abovetheboard.
So just like last time we did this, we're going to play a board game while we talk about the things that fuel our geek hearts, you know?
Yeah.
And just like have a real fun, nerd out sesh, as the kids call it.
Do they?
Yeah.
Nerd out sesh?
No, just sesh. The nerd out part.
I was like, I feel like nerd out sesh is a
no.
Josh TM.
It probably is. Actually, really, like, shortening things is not my thing. That's more of like Randy and your wife.
It's a classic thing. There was an old SNL sketch with Chris Kattan where it was like an infomercial. Save time in your life by shortening words.
That's the whole thing?
Yeah, and he just like cuts a bunch of random words short.
That sounds on brand for a Chris Kattan SNL skit. So what game are we playing today, Phil?
Villainous.
Yeah, Marvel Villainous
edition.
Look at that. I dressed...
Oh, you did? You dressed
occasion. I was wearing Doctor Strange socks that you can't see on camera, but...
It's a podcast, so they can hear them.
Yeah.
We gotta describe
You can hear my socks. They have
see.
Doctor Strange on them. They're black and purple, and they have blue Doctor Strange, like, silhouette, kind of. He's casting some sort of spell.
Alright, Strange socks.
Strange socks. That's going to be our first spin-off podcast.
Where we just describe socks.
Yeah. So this game, it's like a spin-off of the Disney Villainous game, where you play, as the name would suggest, as a series of Disney villains to accomplish predetermined goals. And it's basically like a deck-building game, right? Would you say?
You have a deck. Like, you don't add cards to your deck, do you?
But not to your deck, but you use cards like... Yeah. To like kind of build a attack force or a defense.
Right. This is interesting that I can't identify the genre of this off the top of my head because it's kind of it's
like a strategy.
It's mostly a card game. But maybe a tableau builder.
Okay.
I haven't played it much yet.
Yeah. I've played this particular version, Marvel Villainous, 2 or 3 times, and I've played Disney Villainous many times with my family. It's very fun. But anyway...
Oh, yeah, I wanted to pronounce it Villainous. Like, it's like French.
Yeah,
but with the Spanish double L situation. Villainous.
Villainous. Marvel. Villainous. I picked up earlier this year the Loki expansion entitled Mischief Malice, where the core game is actually called Infinite Power. It's actually Marvel Villainous. Marvel : Villainous : Infinite Power.
You gotta clean out those colons.
I don't. They do. These villains do. And I don't particularly want to do that.
What is this subtitle?
Infinite Power.
Infinite Power. Yeah, because when I read the rulebook, I noticed there's a whole section at the end for Thanos to do his Power Stone thing.
Thanos is probably the most complicated character.
Yeah, I mean, he has his own page of rules.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's pretty intense. I've not played as him yet. And I don't really intend to start tonight because I feel like it's a lot. But I have played... It's pretty much almost... Well, I've either played or played against pretty much everyone else. So I've seen the core mechanics of just about every villain out of the base.
All right, pull out the base villains. I'll pick mine.
Sure.
And then you can pull out one of your Age of Lokis.
So we have Taskmaster. We have Ultron, classic. We have Killmonger. And we have Hela. I think it's interesting that they chose, minus Taskmaster, the most popular MCU villains.
Dude, they gotta have Taskmaster coming up as a villain. Or game designers just really like Taskmaster.
Yeah. I think, we'll talk about it when we get to Hawkeye. But I think that, like, what they're setting up...
Taskmaster's in Hawkeye?
She's not.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
When has Taskmaster been in the MCU? Because this is a fairly masculine character on the card.
They are in Black Widow.
Alright, so if I'm choosing my character from these, discussing Thanos having extra rules, I feel like he's out. He seems cliche, anyways.
Yeah, basic.
I actually haven't seen Ragnarok yet, so I actually have no idea who Hela is. Her objective is to have a combination of 8 allies and soul marks. That doesn't even sound fun.
She's the goddess of death, basically. So in the Loki expansion, we have Madame Mask. She's a pretty heavy comics character. We have MODOK, which is great. This piece looks ridiculous.
Like, he's very not Loki involved at all, right?
Yeah, no. Neither one of these are. Madame Mask and MODOK are more like Hydra and AIM, Earthbound villain groups. And then we have, of course, the Prince of Mischief himself, Loki. So I think, you know what? I'm going to go with Loki.
Alright, do it, man. Take the title character.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass on Ultron. His objective is to reveal Age of Ultron. That sounds boring. Alright, I like Taskmaster. Once you told me his power is to copy the hero's powers.
Yeah, man.
And Killmonger was such a good villain.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because he was Killmonger or because I'm a huge Michael B. Jordan fan.
I mean, it's honestly kind of both, you know?
So, Killmonger needs to take control of the mines and relocate 2 explosives to any domain. It's just going to be you. I'm just going to be bombing you if I'm Killmonger. Taskmaster. Have 4 allies, each with 5 or more strength, and each at a different location. Allies seem good in this game. I'm just gonna go with Taskmaster.
Get out of here. Villains I'm not using.
Villainous?
I have friends that have this.
Oh, okay.
Like the base game, Villainous, or Marvel Villainous.
Villainous?
And that is where I've gotten interest in it. And that's what actually, eventually, one of my friends bought it for me for Christmas last year, the year before.
What a good friend. Speaking of board games, fueling my geek heart. Emily said that should be our new tagline. Fuel your geek heart.
Fuel it. Yeah, man, maybe we'll get sponsored by some sort of game fuel.
Yes. Bring it back. That's the other thing. Halo.
Yeah. I already knew it. As soon as I said game fuel and you had a moment of clarification.
Halo Infinite. Speaking of infinite power. Halo. It's like a return to form. Feels like you're playing like Halo 3. Like, it's great. It plays so well.
It's awesome.
Which is part of the reason why everyone is so upset at the Battle Pass. Because it's gotta be one of the worst Battle Pass implementations. And sitting next to such a perfectly crafted game makes it that much worse.
Well, let me ask you this, friend.
Yeah.
Do you even appreciate the concept of a Battle Pass?
I don't. Which is why I think the fact that I find it bad is a real sign that it's a stinker.
Dude, so I hate Battle Passes.
Oh, I really do in general.
And I don't know if that's showing my age or what.
I mean, I think I'm pretty sure it is part of it. Like, I saw someone on Reddit who was like, why can't I just pay $60 and get everything? And I was like, you're an old man like me.
Yeah, dude, because
it's not the way anymore.
No, you have to pay $60 for the base game plus $20 in-game credit.
I mean, you have to the Battle Pass credit is I feel like I'm getting one over on them because I don't super care about the campaign, and so I just want to play multiplayer anyways. And so they gave it to me for free. So they're the suckers here, I think.
Yeah? Well,
but it's like Apex Legends, I feel like, is the only other game, and Magic Arena are the only ones that play that have battle passes. I've never purchased either one of their battle passes. The reason why I feel like Halo's is so bad is because I can play for 45 minutes, because that's my maximum game time as a busy father.
Allowance.
Yeah.
Your allotment.
And I won't level up. But like every other battle pass I feel like you play where it's like bing, 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 and you get like all these things like level up, and I feel like I'm doing a lot.
Yeah.
Even though I'm just playing the game. But in Halo, nothing moves. And they've hidden so much stuff behind a paywall. That's part of the drama it's causing. It's because it'll be like, get 10 kills with whatever gun. You have to pick a certain mode for the gun to show up. And then it'll be like, capture the flag.
Yeah.
And then some schmuck on your team is like, I'm only going for assault rifle kills instead of the flag.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to level up my battle pass.
Yeah, I definitely understand the drama. And like I said, I just don't really care for battle passes. Where like, here's your roadmap of content that's coming. Like new maps, new whatever. Kind of like what Destiny 2 did for a little while. And Destiny 1, I guess.
I mean, speaking of us being old men though, if you remember Halo 3, like it released maps as DLC.
Yeah, like packs. Right?
Yeah, but then it created this whole thing where it like split the community, where you would either play in the playlist of other people who bought the DLC, or you play in a normal playlist and they would show up 1 in a million times because they'd only show up if everyone in the queue had the DLC at the moment you got paired together. And so, like, again, I feel like the Battle Pass is great. Unless you're, like, an addict who feels compelled to collect things.
I'm happy to hear, though, that from a Halo fan...
Dude, it's just so fun. Like, if you just want to play Halo, just ignore the Battle Pass. Yeah. And you'll be like, this is the best.
Yeah, all right.
It's so good. Like, I'm having, like, flashbacks of Halo LAN parties in college.
Dude, that's
like,
awesome.
It's so good.
See, because, like, I jumped on the Halo wagon, Halo 2. And then I played a lot of Halo 3, because that came out, like, what, 07, I think it was? And that was, like, the year that I first moved here from Lexington. And I remember when my best friends had it, and I lived right down the street from him, and I would go over to his house all the time, and that was our Friday nights, right? It was
yeah.
Same like in college, like a lot of times if we weren't doing, fun college boy things, take that what you will.
Keeping it PJ.
Yeah.
You listen to it with your kids in the car.
Fun college boy things. I'm sorry if you have to explain that to your children. They'll live.
But I like the ambiguity, like, because as a parent, you're like, oh, they drank too much Game Fuel after midnight.
Way too much Kool-Aid and Hershey Kisses.
That just means they did their laundry in the communal laundromat.
Yeah, that's all that means, you know? So, here's the thing about this game, too, that I will give you a fair heads up. There's a lot of stuff that they kind of explain like you should already know. Like you've played it 10 times.
Yeah.
For example, gaining mischief. What does that mean? I don't know. But chances are there's cards in here that explain exactly.
That's the vibe I got. Yeah. The rule book is just like 10 pages long. And it's like in size 30 font. Like old people can read it. And it basically just explains the symbols on the board. And then it's like, read your cards.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And that's why everyone gets their own little mini like rule book. Like, here's the strategy for your deck.
All right, so do you want me to go first?
You most recently read a Marvel comic.
So we draw up to 4 cards, right? It's your first hand. When it's your turn, you can go to any of these locations that you want, and you can use any of the abilities. So I'm going to say, for example, I'm going to go here to Odin's Throne, so I can immediately gain 3 power right there.
Right, yeah, because this seems like a good first move to get some power. So I have to individually power up my allies. I'll go here, so I get triple power.
Triple power.
Oh, I think sound effects are really good.
Yeah.
I feel like they worked out for episode 1 where we were punching Biff Tannen.
Yes.
So,
Biffed.
Alright, can we scoot closer together?
Sure, yeah. Like we like each other or something?
Mm-hmm. Trying to like a balanced view on the stream. Instead of us being tiny, now we get like equal billing as the game itself.
That's pretty nice. It's pretty, very good.
Because you can watch the podcast on YouTube.
Yeah? I did not know that.
Above the board. We got a YouTube channel, man. So we might have more than one listener.
That is exciting. I'm thrilled. Beyond.
I just imagine we hit the front page of YouTube and we've got 1 million viewers that didn't know.
At this point, yes.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago from today. By the way, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did.
Yeah.
It was very good.
That's good. I know we talked about it like off camera when we were doing our photo shoot. I just wanted to, for the viewers and the listeners. Yeah.
I know they were worried about our Thanksgiving.
I'm sure they were. The one viewer.
Did they eat turkey?
Did they eat it? I did. And I had ham. I had turkey and ham.
What a bold Thanksgiving.
My goodness. I ate a lot.
I guess you could have like cordon bleu for your leftovers.
Ooh. I would have, but it's it's no longer there.
I know. I threw away the leftover turkey yesterday.
I'm going to move to the Bifrost.
Oh, I forgot to announce where I was moving to. Although you got cool names.
Yeah.
I went to the training room.
You know what? If you know
Bifrost.
If you know Taskmaster's story, training room is a dangerous place to be.
Well, I'm sure. But he's like clearly like a lame villain.
Easy.
Like, his name is Taskmaster. I mean, he might like do good things in the comics.
Yeah.
Interesting things.
In Spider-Man cartoon, too.
It's not good.
A cool villain in Spider-Man cartoon.
It seems like he pops up in a lot of places. But long story short, his superpower is watching people.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And his lair is the training room.
You're not wrong. Or
the Solomon Institute.
They're different. That's where he was orphaned at. Or he grew up at, rather. I should say. Like, as an orphan.
He was unorphaned.
He was unorphaned at that, yeah. So have you watched, while we're playing this Marvel game, have you watched the new hit Marvel TV show on Disney Plus? And I say hit like that because I am very surprised. Hawkeye.
Thought you were setting me up for Hit Monkey. That'll be later, I suppose.
It will be. I mean, we can do it now.
No, I'm not stealing your thunder.
No, that's fine.
So, Hawkeye, yes. So, I'm still doing my weirdo thing where I'm going to basically wait until all 6 episodes come out before I watch.
You're so old.
It's so dumb. Like, Lost in Space just came out on Netflix.
Oh,
I'm about to watch that season 3.
Is it the final season?
It is. I love that show.
It's very good.
It's all out, so I can just watch it.
That was another show that I didn't expect it to be good.
But it was so good.
But it's very, very good. Yeah.
Lost in Space gets the above the board thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. If I had 4 thumbs on my person alone, it would get 4 thumbs up.
Well, if I ever have the chance to give you my thumbs,
that's great. What a friend.
I'll will them to you. I'll put them in my will.
Lease them. Or will them, I guess. Yeah.
Lease them?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them back.
Is that an option?
Piece. Could be. But no, Hawkeye, so I'm going to give you a spoiler-free 3-episode review, since you're going to have to give me a spoiler-free review of something else later.
Okay.
It is very, very on-the-nose Marvel material. The whole joke is that Hawkeye is like the loser Avenger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's kind of like fan service-y in that sense?
In that sense,
because it's like in canon, they're not like, oh, Hawkeye.
No. Okay. That's more like Ant-Man that they do that too.
That's true.
In the comics. But in the movies, Hawkeye's like the butt of a joke. Like, he has the whole arc in Age of Ultron where, like, will he or will he not die because you're a loser? Like, you're not a god or you're whatever. But no, the show is doing its best to, like, fan service, like, redeem him as a superhero.
Oh, like he is a hero.
Yeah, but they keep making references to the fact that he's like the background.
Just the guy who shoots arrows.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But no, it's very, very good. Jeremy Renner, of course, is awesome. But the star of the show is definitely Haley Stenfield, who is Kate Bishop, who from the comics, if you know, eventually becomes the new Hawkeye. She doesn't refer to herself as Hawkeye because she's just like another Hawkeye.
Oh.
But like, as far as like the Young Avengers and like new Avengers team ups, like she is like that trope, I guess.
Does she take on a name?
Kate Bishop.
Is that her real name?
That is her real name. Kind of like Iron Man, Tony Stark. I mean,
but he is also Iron Man, right? Like Tony Stark says, "I am Iron Man."
Sure. I'm just saying.
So
it's kind of like that.
She's like, "I'm the Hawkeye intern."
I am. Yeah, pretty much. No, Haley Stenfield's like her energy is just so good, man. She kills it. She does a great job at like playing this wide-eyed fangirl of Hawkeye, which is really funny because of like how the MCU movies have made him to be this like nobody or like somebody that the Avengers don't really need.
Yeah.
But she's this like massive Hawkeye fan for reasons that you will find out when you watch all 6 episodes.
She likes to shoot bows and arrows.
I mean, that is one of them. But there's a reason why.
It's like he's her representation as a superhero. Representation matters, Josh. Don't laugh.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the fact that we're bringing that even into the conversation. No, it's really good. And they pull from, there's like a comic line, like a volume, from that introduced Kate Bishop. And it's from, I want to say like 2010, 2011 maybe. A little old in comic standards,
2010? I was like, doesn't seem that long ago.
No, like chronologically it's not. But like as far as like comic story arcs go, that's forever ago.
Yeah,
that's old.
Yeah.
That's old news.
Yeah,
like way old news. Like, oh, you haven't read Hawkeye? What's wrong with you? That kind of deal,
Gotcha.
But they're pulling a lot from that storyline, enough to make it still like family-friendly Marvel stuff. It's not like super dark like the Netflix, like street level heroes were, like Daredevil and all that. Even though those are great, they were fantastic. But I certainly wouldn't let my kids watch them. Not yet, anyway. Sadie watches Hawkeye with us. It's like that level of like it has the potential to go super dark.
Is it PG or is it 14?
I believe it's 14.
That's fine. Your kid's got a strong stomach for
teenage
rated television shows.
It's not really any gore. It's just like any other PG-13 Marvel movie. It's just, But anyway, it's there's a lot of deep cuts in it, I will tell you, for like any Marvel comic like street level hero fans, like tons of stuff being set up or referenced. We'll say that the last episode has a huge tease for something big coming. Ooh. Potentially later.
Okay, you say last episode, you've only seen 3 episodes, right?
Like the last aired episode, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because I edit these
Yeah,
at,
so
at a pace.
the last
Somebody
aired
will they'll
episode-
watch the finale and they'll be like, "What is he talking about?"
No. Last aired episode 3.
There you go.
Episode 3.
Don't date us. Like we need to transcend time.
Anyway, teases something really cool for what's going to come, hopefully later in the season.
See, but like later in the season, it's just like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna knock
But
this
that's
out in a
also
day, but you're
3
like
weeks.
a sucker waiting 3 weeks.
You know what? So what?
So like Lost final season,
Yeah.
way better when I binge watched it with my wife.
Is it the...
It's way better. It's not good.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
not
you
trying
for
to say
clarifying that.
watching it live on TV with a week between each one, there's so much time to come up with way better ideas than they actually did.
That's true.
But when you're just like binge watching it,
Can I tell you a little
It
secret,
fits.
though? So I've learned a lesson with Lost. That lesson is, do not fall into forums or
for sure.
heavy plot. Like, it's fun to, like, think, oh, they're introducing this character. Or, oh, they're going in this direction. That's fine. You know? The Spider-Man thing going on right
Yeah.
now. Like, everyone's talking about what's happening in Spider-Man. But, like, my favorite is, like, Andrew Garfield saying... Or, no, Charlie Cox said it. The guy who plays Daredevil.
Yeah.
Matt Murdock. Everyone's like, oh, you're in this movie. And he's like, listen, I'm not going to say I am. I'm not going to say I'm not. But what I am going to tell you to do is temper your expectations. Because either everyone's going to be super excited or super bummed out.
I bet this Spider-Man movie is going to bum some people out.
I do too.
Mainly because just from the trailer, I feel like there's too much going on in this movie.
Yeah.
I
I don't
feel-
think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be handled well because John Watts, the director, he's juggled tons in the 2 other movies that he's done. Like Far From Home, it's got a lot going on in it, man.
It does.
And Mysterio was set up to be this, like, ultra complex villain that was actually, like, multiple people. Like, he was like a cult almost, like, versus, like, one person. I mean, he had a face, obviously,
Oh,
Jake
yeah,
Gyllenhaal, beautiful face, but it's a handsome devil, you know?
For sure.
Anyway, I think that this movie will be good, but I do agree with you that I think that many people are going to be leaving the theaters, probably even me included, December
It is.
17th, and they're going to be bummed out.
Like the ticket pre-sales went on like last
gosh,
week. There's like people fighting in the streets over these ticket pre-sales,
And they're selling them for $25,000.
and they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad.
They're going to be so mad. Because you now have an assault on your record because of a stupid movie. Anyway, I am excited for what Hawkeye has. I think I'm most excited, and then we'll move on, is the fact that, like, I was not super excited about this show. Like, nothing about the show, like, really sold me.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. I love Haley Stenfield and everything she's done, you know? Even True Grit.
Yes, love that movie. I like Matt Damon a lot in that movie, playing LaBeef.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes, I forgot all about that.
So good. That's a movie I need to watch again.
Oh, man, that was a good movie. It was a fantastic movie.
I forgot that because
Because it was a Coen Brothers movie, too. It was a...
It's a remake of like a John Wayne movie, right?
Yeah, but everyone in that movie is so good. And I realized like a week ago that the little girl is Haley Stenfield.
What else do you say you like her in? Because I recognize her.
She is Spider-Gwen in Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
She does a fantastic job in that.
That's the other reason I think Spider-Man's going to be a disappointment. Because Spider-Man and Spider-Verse did Multiverse Spider-Man
First.
so well.
Yes, and they did it.
Not just first, but to perfection.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I think that if there's a saving grace with the multiverse idea in Spider-Man, it's the fact that Doctor Strange is at the helm of it. But that's literally it, you know?
Yeah, I do like Doctor Strange. But that's what I'm saying. So we got a Doctor Strange plot going on with the Spider-Man plot, and the worst kept secret in Hollywood is that there's other Spider-Mans in this movie.
And the villains.
And then there's like going to be like 6 villains. This seems like the Batman and Robin problem all over again.
Ooh, don't say that.
I'm just saying.
Don't say
I'm
that.
just saying.
Ugh. We don't need that. We don't need that curse upon this fine franchise. Like, was it Joel Schumacher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a band here. So I bet it's better than Batman and Robin.
Oh,
but it's going to be worse than Into the Spider-Verse. So,
I mean, that is fair. Because, like, honestly, though, like, if I had to rank all Spider-Man movies, Into the Spider-Verse is a perfect Spider-Man movie.
It is.
10 out of 10 across the board.
So good.
Right? And then Doc Ock, Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire, for me personally, is right below that.
Okay.
Solid, like, 8, 9 out of 10, you know?
All right.
And then we go Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Then we go Amazing Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
with Garfield. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Then we get Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire.
Tom Holland's not even on your list yet?
No. Okay, so like this is not counting Tom Holland.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like, this seems...
Because if we're going to include Tom Holland movies,
list.
we're going to go Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire. Then we're going to go Far From Home, Homecoming. Okay.
You like Far From Home more than Homecoming?
Yes. Because I think that Mysterio was such a good villain. And like,
that was a good villain.
He broke Spider-Man in ways that we've never seen before in a Spider-Man movie. Like, he broke him way worse than Green Goblin ever did Tobey.
Gotcha.
Way worse. Like, he had him question everything.
That's so true.
So good. And like, in a matter, and it didn't even like take the whole movie to do it. Like, it took one scene.
Oh, yeah.
And it broke him. Like, he was toast, you know? And the best part for me about that, like, character arc between Tom Holland's Peter Parker, like, when he, like, kind of is in the recovery stage after that fight, or that dream sequence or whatever, is that Jake Gyllenhaal's character knows that he's a kid. Like, he's doing this to a child. And that's what makes him such a great villain, that there's, like, nothing's going to stand in his way to, like...
Oh, yeah, he had no qualms.
He had no problem putting a child in front of a train. You know what I mean? Like, it's
when you put it like that, it's quite the villain.
Such a good villain. But anyway, so Far From Home, Homecoming, and you got Spider-Man 1, and then the 2 Amazing Spider-Mans, and then you got Spider-Man 3 at the dusty bottom. Because that movie was just, it's such a sad joke, and I feel bad for Sam Raimi because he meant to do so much more with that.
What happened? What do you think happened?
The studio.
Studio got involved?
Oh, yeah.
Because this is like another movie I was thinking of an example, right? There's like 3 villains in it, you know?
Yeah, dude.
And then there was like his bro, who was Green Goblin, also like became his friend, I think. I don't remember this movie super well.
Yeah, he does, yeah. You're right. There's a redemption arc.
There's like...
a super fast redemption arc.
Too many characters going wrong, doing too many things.
So the problem with that is that, like, again...
the Batman and Robin problem, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that had the Batman and Robin problem, for sure. But I don't think that... I don't know. I'm confident that No Way Home is going to be pretty good.
Maybe there's just a Spider-Man 3 curse, right? And Andrew Garfield just dodged it by not having one.
Well,
or maybe that's the worst the curse gets.
Tom Holland's screwed then because he's got another trilogy coming. So even though it's technically Spider-Man 6, it's going to be the 3rd Spider-Man movie and another trilogy.
The third? What? Did he just sign a contract for 3 more movies? Because he's about to be like old Peter Parker, right? He's got like Mary Jane and all those plots, right?
Yeah. So, like, I think eventually they're going to bring in Miles Morales. I think that's pretty obvious what they're going to do.
You think so?
That seems to be the most obvious choice for, like, ticket sales. Like, Into the Spider-Verse was a huge hit. Into the Spider-Verse 2 is obviously going to be a huge hit. And that comes out next year. By the way. Yeah, 2022.
I'm also low-key more excited about the Spider-Gwen spinoff they're supposed to do, just because, you know, my daughter's a fan. And if she wants to see a movie, I'm over the moon.
Hey, listen, I get it, man. I totally get it. Sadie really wants to see Ghostbusters, and I said, we'll wait on that one, because I'm sure there's some spooky moments.
Yes, I would actually say... Do we want to get into Ghostbusters?
Sure.
We're supposed to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's
We're
your
more
turn.
above the board. Okay, I'll take my turn. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Drink some high C.
Ecto Cooler. Yeah. Okay, so this lightning bolt, the cloud symbol, is that the Fate deck?
That is Fate, yes.
And so it sounds like the Fate deck's going to mess with you. What is this, like the double Massachusetts symbol?
That's like attack or defense. So like if I had Fate...
Oh, if I got to fight some stuff. Yeah. But I feel like I probably need to collect more power right now. So getting power and playing cards probably seems like my best move right now. All right. I'm going to go to the Solomon Institute.
Yeah, where you were unorphaned.
Where I was unorphaned. Say hi to my foster mom.
I'm pretty sure you killed.
That sounds so Villainous.
Marvel.
And I'm going to spend 2 power because that is the cost of the Black Ant. Oh, I don't want to play this Black Ant.
Okay.
Blacant.
I'm going to go back to Odin's Throne again. Build up this power. Alright, these seem pretty good. I'm going to play these Frost Giants. We're going to put them... You were going to put them in their home, Jotunheim, so I can defend also the Bifrost and Sanctum Sanctorum.
What is the Sanctum Sanctorum? It just looks like a house.
It's Doctor Strange's house.
Why does Loki go to the Sanctum Sanctorum? What am I not thinking of?
You've not seen Ragnarok, right?
Yep. Is that my missing? That seems like a major Marvel movie.
It is, yeah.
All right.
I was going to say that's a major component that I feel like they're drawing from for the purpose of this board.
Okay.
But in the comics, Doctor Strange and Loki do interact a little bit. And then I'm going to draw a card. That's the end of my turn. Now, so we're talking about Ghostbusters.
Bustin' makes me feel good. All right.
So sad I haven't seen it yet.
Dude, you should be. So, it's like...
Thanks.
So, like, A+. I really like it.
Yeah?
But in this weird way, in that, like, I'm sort of a movie critic, right?
Yes.
And I feel like, as, like, strictly speaking as a movie, it's kind of a C+, B-, right? It, like, does everything you want from a movie. Characters come together. It's actually kind of like, reminds me a lot of the first Ghostbusters in that there isn't, like, a strong character on their own. There's not, like, an obvious theme to anything.
Yeah.
But, like, somehow, as a unit, they're, like, one character arc.
Yeah.
And so...
So the Ghostbusters in the first movie.
Yeah.
Are a
and
character.
so, but as a love letter to Ghostbusters,
yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it hit all the feels.
Yeah.
It's reusing the music. As intertextual with the original Ghostbusters, it's incredible. So, it's like, if you're familiar with the first Ghostbusters, you just gotta go. It's, like, so much stupid stuff in it. Like, there's, like, a workshop with all this old Ghostbuster stuff in the background. And there's this weird, like, red box thing on wheels. I never knew what it was. But I immediately recognized it as the thing that gets carted out of their office when they're fired from the university in the first one.
Nice.
And because I'm like so familiar with the first one, I'm picking up on stupid little things like this all through the whole movie.
It's like me in Star Wars material.
Yeah.
Like The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
Is like chock full, obviously, of Easter eggs. Chock full, every single episode. I feel like I could like host like a breakdown YouTube or a podcast or something that's like at X minute marker or whatever, like you'll see this thing in the background.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
It's even to the point where it's kind of like, it's so true to the first one. You know how I'm a big, like, wuss for jump scares? Like, they get me every time.
Yeah.
Like, a jump scare, like, got Emily that didn't get me because I was like...
But did her jump get you?
A little bit.
Okay.
I did not flinch.
Yeah.
Who am I? But I was like... Oh, because I know exactly how the first one goes, this thing is about to happen, and it's like, Wah! And it got Emily, but I was like, yep, I knew it. Because it's so, like, true to the story of the first one. Like, you could even kind of pick out which kid matches which Ghostbuster.
That's awesome.
Like, it's crazy, man.
That's
it's so good.
So, I do want to, just a quick tangent, a little bit behind the scenes, viewers and listeners, a little making a sausage of Phil and I's friendship.
When I said that at the end of the other episode,
yeah,
like, watch the stream, see how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
Emily was like, I hate when you use that phrase.
It is very disgusting.
So now people see the sausage of our friendship.
Yeah. Now that you said it. Anyway, but that is what it is, you know?
Sure, yeah.
We have seen a lot of films together, whether in our own homes, side by side on a couch, or at a movie theater over the years. I am a huge horror nut, horror film buff, and you will watch them, but you're not like a horror film aficionado like I am. That being said, I feel like I can handle jump scares pretty well, but I do jump. I'm not saying I don't jump. I do jump. And like part of at least my running gag is whenever we're in theaters together and I at least jump, I'm always like, you got me, whatever thing happened or whoever directed the movie.
Right.
Like Quiet Place Part 2. I said that a handful of times.
Yeah, you're like, you got me, John Krasinski.
You got me. But no, when you were talking about how Emily jumped, but you didn't, but her jump got you a little bit, the thing that cracks me up the most about our viewing parties, whether they're in public or in the privacy of our own homes, is that your jumps always get me. It's never a time. Especially when we're in theaters. And I think it's because we're like literally right next to each other.
Yeah, like where you have to like bump elbows.
Yeah, I think that's why. But it doesn't bother me. It's not like a complaint or anything. Yeah. It's just so funny. Because like, if we're like watching something scary here, you know, and you're like, ugh! Like, it makes me laugh. It's just funny. But, like, at theaters, like, and I know a jump scare's coming, or it's, like, one of those, like, oh, you got me. Like, I'll jump, but then you'll jump, which will then, like, rocket fuel my jump. And it's great. I just wanted to make that known to our audience. That's how in tandem we are as friends, is that, like, jump, jump, jump! It's like a triple jump.
We just jump around. Back to Ghostbusters, though.
Yeah.
You know how, like, the original Ghostbusters is kind of scary? Like,
Yeah.
everyone talks about how it's a comedy,
No, but
but it's definitely a little spooky.
Yeah.
I feel like this one is a little spookier. Like, now that I'm, like, thinking through as a parent or whatever, Lucy could not handle this movie.
At all?
She'd be dead.
So, like, not even at home kind of deal?
No.
Like, where you could fast forward?
I mean, maybe, but, like...
Like, fast forward, like watch the tension, fast forward, like, right when you know if a jump's coming or something?
I haven't tried.
No?
But I also don't like that or whatever.
I understand.
The reason I don't watch half as many movies as I want to watch is because I refuse to, like, watch an hour, stop it, and then watch the second hour.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I totally get it. I have grown to that point in my dad age.
Yeah. And so, if I'm going to show Lucy a movie, I'm not going to fast forward through... Because especially it's like Ghostbusters. The big moments have the ghosts.
That's true.
You know?
So this one has a lot more spooky moments, would you say?
I wouldn't necessarily say more, but I feel like it's a little more intense.
Gotcha.
Like, it's kind of like, in the original Ghostbusters, Sigourney Weaver, maybe it's the same, but I'm just, like, desensitized to the original one. Like, when those hands pop out of that chair to grab Sigourney Weaver.
Dude, I don't know. That was a traumatizing moment in my childhood.
So
that scared the ever-living crap out of me.
They're on there. Oh, J.K. Simmons has, like, this, like, really obscure cameo in this.
What?
I don't know if it's a cameo, but he plays such a random character, and you don't even know it's him. Like, it's...
How much screen time?
Where you can actually see that it's J.K. Simmons?
Yeah.
Like 5 seconds.
No way.
Yeah.
That's a cameo, then. It's gotta be. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's cool. And it's like a deep-cut Ghostbusters lore type character? Or
Yes.
That's awesome.
But I don't know, I guess it looks slightly more realistic. Like, original Ghostbusters, it's kind of like, you can kind of tell they're, like, people in rubber arm costumes grabbing her.
Yeah.
But, like, the new technology fits the film very well, and it looks more like whatever is actually happening.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I thought it was more scary.
No, I get what you're saying, man.
But if you were saying you're nervous about showing your daughter because she might get scared, the answer is yes, she will get scared.
That's so good. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't take her to see it in theaters because it's one of those movies where it's like, there's no way. Because she'd either be like buried behind me in my seat and I wouldn't be able to enjoy anything.
Yeah.
Or we would be gone and I wouldn't be able to enjoy anything.
Yes.
That's good to know. One of my other really good friends, Jeff, he saw it the same night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I saw an Instagram thing where you guys were at the movies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what I did that night. I don't even remember. I think I worked late and then, like, I didn't go anywhere. I feel like I'm left out. Like, I had FOMO big time.
Dude, it was right to have FOMO. You need to get on it.
Yeah, Randy really wants to see it too, so I
definitely
want to see it.
But it is. I'm pretty sure, though, the enjoyment of Ghostbusters Afterlife is just multiplied by how much you know the original Ghostbusters.
I mean, I wouldn't
because,
say...
like I said, if I had never seen any other Ghostbusters movie, I'd be like, this is all right. Like, it does everything I want a movie to do, but nothing's amazing.
Yeah.
But as, like, a love letter to Ghostbusters. That's my tagline.
Like Ghostbusters 1, not 2.
They don't deny Ghostbusters 2. I saw a whole thing where they said there are some, like, references to Ghostbusters 2.
Okay.
But I just, like, recently saw Ghostbusters 2 because I had only seen it, like, 2 other times.
Ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I never... I was, like, 5 when it came out on video or something, and I was at a friend's house and saw a part of it, and, like, that little ghost stealing the baby in the flying carriage or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
That gave me, like, nightmares, dude. I was done.
Yes.
And so I, like... low-key didn't see it until I was, like, in college. I was, like, in college, and I think Emily, as a gift, gave me, like, the Ghostbusters 2-pack. And I was like, I need to see this as an adult. Yeah. And I was kind of like, it's not bad.
It's not great, though.
But it's not great.
The Ooze storyline is kind of...
It's weird. But so I did. I watched it a couple months ago because I was like, if there's references, I want to be ready.
Yeah.
Because I don't... Like, the first one, I watched it while I was doing some home repair stuff with the director's commentary on. And it's like the movie played in my mind even though I wasn't watching it.
Yeah.
But Ghostbusters 2, I had no idea. It's like heavily influenced by the cartoon too. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, like Janine has like her weird red
That's
haircut.
True. Yeah.
And Slimer's like hanging out at the firehouse.
Yeah, he's like the unofficial fifth Ghostbuster.
I feel like this isn't a spoiler, but the plot revolves around Spangler being dead.
Yeah. And that's if you've seen the trailer.
So my fan theory here is that Bill Murray said he would never be in Ghostbusters again unless they made him a ghost. And I feel like the way the plot plays out, I feel like the first draft, Venkman was the ghost.
Oh, okay.
But then, since Harold Ramis died,
they had to make him.
They made it. They're like, oh, we'll make it him. It'll be like, and so there is like a real sweet moment, you know. And I've heard many adult men say they cried because it's so like nostalgic to the first one.
Yeah.
And it tugged the heartstrings, and I'm a crier. I'm not gonna lie. Didn't get me though.
It'll probably get me, man. I'm a big. Movies move me in the most unexpected ways. This is expected, so this is not the best example. But like the movie Super 8, wrecked me.
Dude, it got me too.
Wrecked
it does.
me.
On rewatches too, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like the whole sequence at the end of the movie when the ship's leaving, and like they have to let go of the locket. And that stupid song, that stupid, beautiful piece of the soundtrack plays. I'm like, I can't sit through this 30 seconds of this film
it's so good, though. It gets
waterworks.
Me. I'm, like, super mad, speaking of Super 8, that I was like, I love this movie. I need to get it in high def.
Yeah.
So I bought it on Blu-ray literally a week before it came out in 4K. I was heated.
Terrible. I am so sorry.
Because it was. Like, now I always, like, Google movies. Is it in 4K?
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
No.
So I was like, I'm just go ahead and get it.
And then lo and behold...
I was like, how dare you?
The media gods were like, oh, silly human. Spend your money wisely next time. I think it's your turn.
It is.
Master of tasks.
All right, I'm going back to the training room.
Okay.
I will play the Black Ant.
Black Ant.
And then so my second play a card action is going to be the effect Trainer for Hire. Choose another player. I pick you.
Me?
Yeah. Reveal cards from that player's villain deck until you reveal an ally. Here's one. Lorelei. Gilmore. Gilmore Girls.
Yes.
You need to get on that show, man. It's so good.
Do I?
I'm telling you, it's so good.
I don't know that I do.
In the year of the life. Speaking of things that make me cry. Luke gives that speech. Oh, man. Gets me every time.
I'm not judging. Everyone can have their thing.
I feel like if someone has to start with I'm not judging.
No. It's not one of those things. It's not one of those things. We're not going to play that card. It's not one of those things. Not this time. Most times, yes, I would agree with you. I've tried. All right. And I have more luck getting into Gossip Girl than I do Gilmore Girls.
Gossip Girl is like one of those shows that are a little too crazy for me.
It is bananas. So I'm quickly learning that this whole multiverse thing that Loki can do is not beneficial for one-on-one games. Because I can only have one per domain.
Does this follow like the shows or the comics more so?
The multiverse stuff?
Yeah.
Comics, for sure. And the show just kind of like taps into it.
Right. But is the alligator Loki like a...
No, that's made for the show. He doesn't exist in the comics.
Dang.
Which, I mean, there is a President Loki. There is a Kid Loki.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
I want the alligator Loki.
Yeah, dude,
we all do.
I like the polos that they have. That's like has the alligator Loki logo. That's like the clothing brand that is. I'm drawing a blank. I am going to spend 3 power to play Viking Loki in your training room. He's going to hang out with your guys for a little bit.
You gain 2 mischief.
Yes,
that's a lot for your win condition.
I still have to spend it though. Gaining it does mean not a whole lot.
Well, you're halfway there.
Speaking of films, new hot ticket item. I took Sadie on Tuesday to see Encanto. It's not a Marvel movie, but it is really kind of like a superhero movie.
I'm going to fate card you, and then you can tell me about Encanto being a superhero movie? What a lead.
Kind of, yeah.
What a lead. Fate intervenes! So you got to reshuffle. Should I redraw a new card? Because I feel like shuffling your deck basically did nothing.
Yeah, you can. Sure, why not?
And I feel like it's fine for it to do nothing, except for the fact the card was for a character we're not playing with.
Yeah.
Which I feel like it might matter to her.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know Helena.
You keep calling her Helena.
Hella? What is her name?
Helen.
Okay.
But I like Helena. Helen. Good old Helen. We go back. We dated in college for a brief while.
You and Helena?
Yeah. It was a tough time, you know. Not a good relationship.
Was that part of doing, what was it, college boy stuff?
Yeah.
Everyone's got a Helena.
Yeah, everyone. At least one.
They're up to their college boy stuff.
You indulge in college boy stuff, you know a Helena. Have fun explaining that when you're kids. That's what I say.
Regularly. It's a common phrase. I don't trust these cards on their riffle shuffle.
No?
They don't separate well, and I'm really worried I'm gonna bin one. And I've been a long time shuffler.
I know.
Going back to Halo, I'm playing. I get the rocket launcher, shoot it right into a wall, and kill myself. And I scream at the TV like, "Feel like 20 years of Halo experience would count for something." And it was like, I don't think 20 years of Halo experience counts for anything. I was like, well, it should count for not hitting myself with a rocket. That's the what?
Savage burn.
It was.
That definitely sounds like something I would do in campaign mode. Not even
In the high stakes.
Not even high stakes ranked multiplayer.
Fiesta.
Game. What?
It's like the random weapon mode
Okay.
for their like secondary sub battle pass to get ninja armor.
That's terrible.
I'm going to go back to Odin's Throne because that has the most power.
Oh, I forgot to say I went to Camp Hammond.
I don't know
So
what that
cool.
I have no idea what that is in the Marvel Universe. I would say it's like Camp Lehigh, but I don't know.
It's like his version of it, right?
I
Like
guess.
Taskmaster has his own camp.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Did you do anything?
I gained power.
These turns are much faster than I assumed they would be. And a weird twist of fate, I feel like Viking Loki helps out the Taskmaster's plan. Someone come over and be like, "What's up, Viking Loki?"
Oh!
Yeah.
And then I get 2 mischief. 2 mischief tokens.
Giving all my dudes +1 strength feels good. I think I'm going to give Blackhant a training dummy also, because I'm the Taskmaster.
And you assign tasks for other people to master.
And draw a fate card. Life Model Decoy from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, no!
Alright, so what do I want to block you from doing?
Who knows? I don't.
I feel like you're the one person who would know.
Why would I tell you? That doesn't make any sense.
That's a horse of a different color.
Block me from my daddy's room.
Odin's Throne.
Sorry,
Sorry, I went to Camp Hammond again.
She said like Owen Wilson. Camp Hammond. I wish I had a segue now for Owen Wilson, but I don't.
Yeah.
I was. What were we talking about though? Encanto. Before I do my turn.
Oh, yeah.
So I took Sadie to see it this week. Very good, man. It's awesome. I feel like Lin-Manuel Miranda, like, he rocked it out with Moana, rocked it out with Mary Poppins 2, you know, and then now he's rocked it out with Encanto. But the thing is that, like, the movie is, like I told you, it's kind of like a superhero movie. The premise is this family is, like, blessed with different gifts. They grant them superhero abilities, essentially, like super strength, super hearing. One can control the weather. One can talk to animals. But they do all this to help this town like become prosperous. So they become like, I don't know,
Like
de facto
demigods.
Yeah, like the de facto rulers of this like village.
Okay.
But they're like, you know, they're nice. They're good people. Like they're not. They don't use their powers for bad. You know.
Good.
The main character, Maribel, who's voiced by the actress Stephanie.
Beatrice.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. She plays Diaz in
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yeah.
She's awesome in this as well. Like, totally different character, obviously, than anything I've ever seen.
I actually just saw an interview where Lin-Manuel, apparently, him and Stephanie Beatrice were, like, friends, like, long before. Because she was, like, on off-Broadway stuff.
Yeah.
When he was doing off-Broadway stuff.
Okay.
And he always said Brooklyn Nine-Nine was funny to him because she, like, lowers her voice for the character.
Yeah.
And she never talks like that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, because she sounds... When you're watching the movie and you don't have her pictured in your head, I mean, she's supposed to be like a 15, 16-year-old girl, like a little girl, and you're like, yeah, that's definitely a child actress. Like, she does such a good job. She even, like, has, like, moments where, like, her voice would crack, or, like, she sounds awkward, like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's the only one in the family that doesn't have... Besides the people who have like married into the family, she doesn't get a gift. And there's a whole massive plot point as to why that is. So I won't explain that. It's appropriate that it came out during Thanksgiving weekend because it's all about family relationships and understanding how important it is to have... How do I word this? It's important to have the understanding of what your tie to each individual family member is versus what it's expected of you to be to that. Yeah. And the point is that like families that have those type of like aha moments where like you can look at your family and say, this is what is expected our relationship to be with my mom or my dad or my brother or my sister or my cousin or my aunt or my uncle or whatever, but then in reality it's this, and it's like completely different than what anyone would ever expect it to be, but it works because that's how our family works. And that's kind of the theme that they're going with.
It's like figuring out expectation versus reality.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And like also like the whole idea of don't take family members at face value. Like black sheep family members are always at face value. They're like, oh, they did something wrong. They're bad people. Whatever.
Oh yeah, but there's more.
Exactly. The music obviously is great because Lin-Manuel Miranda did all 8 lyrical songs in the movie. I don't think there's a bad song in the movie with lyrics, personally.
That's funny. In the interview, he's talking about how Moana came out after, like, his kid was born, like, during, like, Moana's production. And so they just saw it, and he was like, oh, I made that. And they're like, cool, Dad, or whatever. And then, but, like, now, his kid's, like, old enough, and since he's working remote, he's just, like, talking about how he's sitting in the corner writing lyrics. And his kid was, like, really weirded out by it. Because he didn't understand, like, it was going to be in the movie.
That's hilarious. Oh, John Leguizamo is in it.
Sweet.
And I was very happy to hear him. I was like, man, I feel like I haven't seen him do anything since maybe John Wick. One of the cousins is voiced by a artist who was introduced to recently, who's she's a big, like, reggaeton artist. So that whole...
And who is she?
Her name's like Adesa, I believe is how you pronounce it. Like, her music's really good. And I'm not a big reggaeton fan, but, like, her music is really good. And her character that she plays in the movie, like, all the stuff she does is fun. Like, it's just... But anyway, check it out, Encanto.
I'm listening.
Very good.
I want to see it.
Super colorful. Good message. Good vibes. The only complaint that I will say about it, and it's not a plot spoiler or anything, it's just not as, like, epic as I feel like a Disney movie typically is.
Well, one of the things I heard about it that I thought was interesting is that they, like, on purpose, like, it wasn't epic. Like, they want it to be more intimate.
It's super confined, and it does work for the movie. Like, that's not a reason, like, that's not a knock against the movie. That's just, like, a personal, like, it's a Disney movie.
You wanted more scale.
Yeah.
But I like more intimate things. It's like when I heard that, I was, like, excited.
Like I said, for the movie, it totally works. Like, it totally makes sense. And honestly, for the setting that the movie's in, because, like, the house is enchanted, so every room they go in, it could be, like, a massive, like, set piece.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Because there's no, like, limit. There's no ceiling, pun intended, to this house and the magic that's in the house. So, in that sense, it is epic, but it's not epic in the sense of, like, Moana, for example. It's definitely good. I enjoyed it. And it's also what I enjoy about it is that, like, kind of like Moana, like, when I saw it and I left theaters and Sadie and I were talking about it, I was like, I like that movie a lot. That was pretty good. But then the more I thought about it and the more I thought about the soundtrack, I was like, no, I love that movie. Like, it was very good. It's like one of those that kind of grows on you the more you think about it after you see it. I'm trying to convince, like, my mom and them to go see it. My mom's like, I mean, there's emotional stuff in it, right? I don't know if I can handle, like, too much crying right now. Like, it is a Disney movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a Pixar movie, so we don't have to worry about repeats of Up. It is a Disney movie. Disney movies like to pepper in those little tear jerkers.
Well, especially because it's like a family story.
Yeah, I mean, it got me a little bit.
I feel like it'll get you a little bit more than, you know, like Frozen.
Yeah.
Well, Frozen's kind of a family story, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess most Disney ones kind of are.
So, like, Frozen didn't affect me at all. Frozen 2 got me a little bit, being a girl dad. Frozen 2 having the whole idea of your kids, like, you want your kids to be the best versions that they can be themselves. You know what I mean? So Frozen 2 got me a little bit. Frozen didn't affect me at all. It's just a fun movie. Moana got me big time because of the whole idea of, like, letting your kid go to be something greater than she... you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, than she's supposed to be. That was but then
she's gonna leave your island, man.
I know, man, but it's okay. She's gonna, like, fix Taka, and, like, my coconut trees are gonna dry up or whatever.
I do worry about your coconut trees.
I'm so worried about my coconut trees. Every time I cut one down and harvest it, is that what you do?
It's a nut, right?
Yes. It's just dry.
I want to say fruit, but it's not a fruit.
I don't think it's a fruit. I think you're right. First time.
You can't milk a fruit.
I have nipples though.
Can you milk me, Greg? Come to Above the Board for your Meet the Parents quotes.
I told you, man. You know, whatever fuels are...
Geek Hearts.
Yeah. It's going to come out.
Our new tagline.
Did I go? Is it my turn?
I'm waiting for you.
I'm so sorry. We're going to go to Sanctum Sanctorum. We're going to discard... I don't need this crap. Get out of here.
The most brilliant jest?
So stupid.
You gave up the most brilliant jest?
Yeah, I did.
All right. You could have spent a mischief.
To do what? Exactly.
Win!
All right.
I didn't read the rest of your card.
Yeah.
Probably sucks.
It does.
I'm going to go to the armory. I'm going to fake card first. Oh, speaking of Hawkeye, so you talked about it too soon. This was our best transition moment ever.
Perfect.
I did want to ask you, though, how Christmassy is it? The trailer
Super
played
Christmassy.
up to... Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
What actually, something I do appreciate about it is that the show takes place 6 days before Christmas, and there's 6 episodes. So it's
Nice.
leading up to like Christmas Eve. The finale will be presumably
Nice.
Christmas
What are the
Eve.
odds Santa shows up? He's in the Marvel universe, right?
Yeah, he is actually.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Spider-Man helps him.
All right, so Hawkeye kills someone in an event, but no one is bothered with the event yet, so Hawkeye does nothing.
Okay.
Just a callback to earlier.
What's that?
You're a real neat guy. I'm not playing it. You'll have to see later.
Ooh, the plot thickens.
Prepare to be vanquished, Agent 13, with crossbones, so you're defeated. And
But he's
then,
gone too, right?
but I can sacrifice Taskmaster Shield instead, so Crossbones lives.
Fine.
I gotta keep my dudes around. That's kind of the
Just,
thing.
like, chucked the shield at Agent 13's forehead and took her out. Or, in a darker moment in the most recent comics, killer like Cap kills Black Widow with a shield. Kills her.
Which should have done in the first place. She's a Russian spy.
Whoa! No, you're so against Ruskies.
It's American as apple pie to be against the Ruskies.
Is that your turn?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna go... Where am I gonna go?
I'll tell you where you can go
Alright.
to Bifrost.
I could. And I'm going to.
Knew it. But when you kill the life model decoy, a hero from the discard pile comes out.
Get that card.
Agent 13 Shield was behind that life model decoy the whole time.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know, this card doesn't make sense to me either. Like
At
if
all.
it's a decoy.
It doesn't make sense.
Or I guess they were distracting you. Agent 13 was like doing something else and you didn't notice.
Maybe, I guess.
Because you were chasing after the life model decoy.
Because, like, in theory, you'd be fighting who you thought was that, and then they turn out to be a life model decoy.
But
So it should be reversed. But it's not going to be that. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Who cares? Get out of here, Agent 13. Get out of my daddy's room.
I'm going to Camp Hammond. Camp
Favorite
Hammond.
spot of yours.
Seems like it does a lot of stuff I want to do. I activate this. The training dummy gives him a +1 token. So
Pretty
Black
good.
Hand is a 5 now. Bum, bum, bum. And then I'm going to discard. I've been holding on to this photographic reflexes to copy an effect, but all your effects are like use mischief. What's
Taskmaster
the
can't
point
do
of having
mischief.
photographic reflexes?
How are you going to use that against a god, though?
Clearly, so I got
That's
discarded.
That's the real question.
So do your worst.
We're going to jump back over here to Daddy's room. We're going to get some power back. Some stupid life model decoys has been hanging out in here. I mean, it's probably not the best move, but you like Camp Lehigh or whatever. Camp Hammond. It's one of your favorite spots.
Speaking of Odin's throne,
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up Kingdom 2 Crowns, which is, as of our recording, it's one of the games with gold that you can get on Xbox Live. It's an indie game that I saw a while ago, and it's fantastic. It's like an exploration game. I think that's the main thrust of the game. And it's got these really beautiful retro graphics, and you just play like a king, and it's really elegant in that all you can do is move left or move right. And like I said, you just kind of explore the space. And then the interaction you have is that you like collect coins and then you spend coins to have like your villagers do stuff.
Is this the one that like it came out last year?
I think it came out in 2017 technically.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but
Like on
it
PC
might have
maybe?
been like a Steam early release or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it
So-
like when you say retro? Is it like
Pixel art.
yeah?
Yeah. I like exploration in video games, and this just like hits all the right buttons.
Yeah.
Where it's like you slowly uncover new features and interactions. Part of the thing is you expand your little kingdom out. These little monsters will attack your walls.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you got to build higher walls. And then as you expand out, you can like start buying new things to defend your walls. And the monsters get bigger. And then you can like eventually send out your knights to attack the spawn portals of these things. You build like a boat. And if you get on the boat, you go to a new island where you basically like have to start over and do like the same thing again.
Interesting.
And then eventually you build the boat to like go back, because like I was saying how you interact with coins, there's like a second currency that's like gems that you use to unlock the bigger things and stuff, whatever. And it's just like real neat, and it's like you constantly find these new things to interact with. Like I was just standing around waiting for something, and this giant boar came out and attacked me, and I realized that there's like a bush with little baby boars running around. And if you like stay next to that bush too long, the mama boar comes out and like attacks you.
That's crazy.
And there's like so many little things that I've just like found. I'm like, this is so fun.
Did you ever play?
And you just like vibe, man. You just sit there and play. You just explore way to the right. You kind of hit a dead end. You come back and pick up all the coins from your people working.
Yeah.
And explore to the left a little bit.
Did you ever play? It was the Double Fine game, Broken Age.
Oh yeah.
So like that's one of my favorite recent, like in the past like 7 years, I guess is when it came out. No, it's 6 years. It came out in 2015, I think.
Oh, because I followed like the Kickstarter on it.
Okay.
So I was like aware of it for longer than that.
I played it. I know the Kickstarter was a big deal on it though. Like it like broke records, I think.
Well, it's because like point and click adventures were like a dead genre.
Yeah.
And nobody would produce one.
Oh yeah.
And that's why they kickstarted it, because they're like, well, if people will pay for it, we can do it.
No, that game was super good, and that's probably my favorite like adventure game.
It's
like,
really
point
good.
And click adventure game. Like you talking about like the standing next to the bush with the boars, the baby boars, like reminded me of like stuff that you could trigger in that game.
Oh yeah.
Like how you like could talk to like different characters in certain orders and like trigger certain elements of the story. That
Dude.
like if you just like did the core what you were supposed to do, like you would just skip over like these like hilarious classic Double Fine level jokes.
Yes,
you know,
it's so good. That's a really good game. And I feel like I've been away from it long enough I could start all over and be all surprised all over again.
Yeah, I don't know. The biggest thing I remember about that game, spoiler alert,
Is the big twist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's so good
We're not
that I
even
wouldn't
listening.
even share it. Just like play Broken Age.
The big twist. That's
It
literally
was so cool. I was like, what?
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. I did not see it coming.
I would, because it is like the whole time you're like, what? What's going on with these two characters?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Why are they important? And like, why are they connected?
And then you're like, no way!
So good.
So good.
So
Because you can like flip back to them at any time, which I think is also like a subtle feature for an adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you played Monkey Island or whatever, like you get stuck.
Did
You're
they
like, I
also-
have no idea what to do.
Do they also do Grim Fandango?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
Day of the Tentacle. But yeah, it's like you'd get stuck in one of those games and you're just like, I have no idea what to do. But in Broken Age, you just like switch to the other character and then you can come back with like fresh eyes. And then there are plenty of places where you're like, oh, this thing here looks like this thing over there. Maybe I can do it like that. Oh, so good. That is. It's like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like I
enjoy it.
feel like it's one of those things that's like, as far as we've had so far, like the best expression of the point and click adventure game.
Speaking of games, though, and staying in Marvel theme,
Oh.
I started playing Guardians of the Galaxy,
Oh yeah.
the Square Enix game. It's actually super good. I think what a lot of Marvel games has like the kind of unfortunate disadvantage though is that most people are going to play them and expect them to be on par with MCU. Like they're going to look and sound like the actors.
Yeah.
They're going to reference things that happened in the movies, like almost like they're companion pieces to the movies.
Gotcha.
Versus standalone. But the Guardians of the Galaxy game, it's so well done in the fact that like the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise knows how ridiculous it is. Especially the Star-Lord, Groot, Rocket, Gamora, Drax, all those guys. Like they know that it is a bananas bonkers D-movie 80s movie, you know.
Yeah. And so the game leans into that?
And it leans heavy into that. But like not so much that you're like, I don't really want to play this. It plays like an MCU movie. Kind of feels like the James
Is
Gunn.
this a Telltale game? Like
No. This is it just came out this year. Square Enix did it. I mean, it's similar to their Avengers game, but not games as a service. It's like a single player game only. But like the look and feel of it is similar to the Avengers game that came out last year. Combat's super smooth. It's just a lot of fun, arcadey shooting stuff. You play only as Star-Lord. But the other ones can like you can order them to do kind of like Mass Effect a little bit.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
you can use them to do certain abilities or attack certain enemies or whatever, you know, and like do team ups kind of like Ultimate Alliance.
Is that the
back in the day.
top-down one or whatever?
Yeah.
Dude, those are so good.
Yeah.
Where's the next-gen Ultimate Alliance?
On the Switch.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't even
Ultimate
know.
Alliance 3. It's,
I have to peep that.
I think it came out last year, the year before.
Dude, it's been a minute, man.
And it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's not as good as 2. I think 2 is really, really good. 2
Yeah.
might have been the best of the 3, but
Gotcha.
whatever. Anyway, yeah, Guardians is really fun. Leans heavy into the whole like 80s like retro like action movie like kind of feel to it, you know.
Uh-huh.
I think one of the coolest things about it is that it's one of those games that seems like it has unlimited written dialogue.
Like, seems like everyone's, like, ad-libbing constantly. Unless you're part of a mission, like, just like the NPC interactions seems super, like, organic, you know? Like, I sat there and stood in the ship for, like, 10 minutes earlier, and, like, Rocket and Groot, like, had a full-on conversation. And, like, it never repeated and never, like, cycled back through. Like, it was a full argument conversation where eventually Groot just, like, storms off and, like, Rocket is, like, muttering to himself. And again, it doesn't cycle through. Like, it's him having a conversation under his breath about the argument he just had 5 minutes prior.
Wow.
And it's like, that's tons of dialogue that they had to record.
It is.
You know? But it's so cool that, like, if you're just, like, running through to get to the next...
So, I just heard that voice acting is really rough on video game voice actors.
Yeah.
Because there is so much dialogue, right? Like, if you're recording for a cartoon, a 30-minute cartoon, right? The most you have to speak is 30 minutes. More or less, you know?
Yeah,
you're just doing the dialogue. But, like, in a video game, you got to do all that stuff. Like, and all that muttering under your breath. And so it's like you need, like, hours upon hours upon hours of dialogue for a video game.
And tons of different
and
takes,
then, yeah. And then they were talking about, which I never thought about, is that, like, most video games are, like, shooters or whatever. So you also have to do a whole bunch of, like, all the, and then it just, like, toasts your voice.
Yeah.
Because you're doing, like, 4 hours of grunting for your character to run.
I forget which Call of Duty it was, but there's one where Gary Oldman was in it.
Yeah.
And he was on, I believe, Conan. And, like, he was talking about that same thing.
Yeah.
Like, the whole voice acting. Like, how is it being voice acting a character in a video game? And he's like, well, it's a lot of, on the ridge! Over there! It was just funny, because Gary Oldman, like, imagining him in a sound booth, like, just, like, screaming.
That's true, because he's such a good actor. You know he'd be into it.
Yeah.
Like, with his hair flopping. I feel like it's a Gary Oldman thing.
Yeah. It's very, very much so. Maybe getting a little sweaty. He sweats a lot.
Yeah. I don't know if you watch Friends as much as I have.
No, but I mean, I'm pretty familiar.
There's the one where Gary Oldman's acting with Joey Tribbiani.
I do, yes. I
where
know
it's
exactly
like, they're like spitting or whatever.
Yeah.
So good. Gary Oldman's a treasure.
He is.
All right.
I would say national, but I don't think it's American.
No. Maybe.
Is he? That's a Google. That's a Google.
We're going to leave it a mystery.
Yeah.
You can Google that on your own time.
Yeah. Don't bother me.
All right. I'm going to go to the training room. It's where he plays with his model trains. I think. I don't know the Taskmaster that well.
So sad. That's where he imagines he has friends while he builds model trains.
I'm going to pay 3 for the Jagged Bow.
It's intense.
I know. All his allies have cool names. He has a bonus if I go to an event, so it doesn't matter.
I don't think we're actually paying attention to this event, by the way.
No, I'm paying the extra for my allies, but I feel like the reward isn't all that appealing to me.
Yeah.
Like, you have to lose your guys to defeat it, and then the benefit is you get to put them in your hand. I'll just pay the extra one.
Yeah.
Also, because it's like an 8, I think you're right how it's like everyone can contribute.
Yeah.
If it was like a 6-player game, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to throw one dude on there and get a benefit, but
2, it's like...
I'd have to, like, because I was looking at this guy's a 3, and then I'm actually going to pay 3 to do another 3 power guy, right? Like, I could play them both there, still not beat it, be out 6 power and 2 allies.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll just die. Doesn't seem worth it at all. Let's drop a new hand. These cards stink.
You're welcome. I don't know why I said that. It's not like I had anything to do with that at all.
This whole split screen thing isn't working. You floated way out of frame.
Way out of frame.
Like, we have to, like, put our heads together. Yeah. That's the sound of our heads together for the podcast. You gotta follow us on twitch.tv to know what really happened.
Yeah. Maybe we kissed.
I mean, maybe, but... The odds.
Maybe.
The odds are not in your favor.
Whose favor? Mine? Why would it be my favor?
So you're done?
Yep, that's it. That's me.
All right. I think I got a winning move here.
A winning move?
Yeah.
Like to win the game?
Yeah. I'm going to Camp Hammond. So Viking Loki is going to buff all my guys. Bloop, bloop. Jagged Bow gets one. I want to put this one on the trainees. And then for my 1 card to play, it's going to be the Shadow Initiative. So I'm going to relocate an ally I control from my domain to another player's domain and put a +1 token on them. So the Blood Spider is going to come over here. So I don't care where. Blood Spider, 5 power. Crossbones, 5 power. Black Hand has 5 power. And then finally, the Jagged Bow is using Taskmaster Sword to have 5 power. So I have 4 allies in different locations, 5 power each. Game, Taskmaster.
Very good.
That's a win. It's a good thing, because I was about to destroy you. I was about to wipe you clean.
Oh my gosh.
I was about to let you think. I'm like, all right, you play your one card. And then I was just going to come in and basically have a card that lets me move my guy to wherever he is, and then I can run your domain. So I have unlimited turns, basically. And I would have been at least half, maybe more Mischief. And then I would have played another card while I was doing that to just stack up my Mischief. And I would have been done.
That would have been clutch, man.
It would have taken you out, sir. But that was good. Good game.
That's good. Good game. Good game. It seems like my weakness would be if you're playing heroes on me via fake cards.
I think my biggest weakness is just blocking me from getting Mischief.
I bet it plays a lot different with a lot of different players, too.
Yeah, the most I've played it with is 4. It does get a little confusing.
Yeah, I was like, I know games like this kind of have this weird equilibrium of, like, when there's all the players, you got to be like, should I be messing someone up right now?
Yeah, like, it gets confusing as far as, like, who I should be targeting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, keeping track of, like, who's in the lead and who's not.
Yeah.
Who's a threat to, like, your goal and who's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also gets confusing as to, like, if you start, like, tracking down players, like, you lose sight of your goal.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're like, if I'm going to spend all my time and resources blocking you from your goal,
Mm-hmm.
chances are you're not progressing your goal at all. You're just... Then there are also some villains that that's their goal, is to block other villains from accomplishing stuff.
I think I'm kind of a minority in gamers, though, in that I don't really like asymmetric abilities like this. Just because, like, basically what you described is, like, I have to know what you're doing enough to know how to block it, and I have to know what I'm doing enough to know how to be successful at it. Also, like, this third hidden knowledge of what I can do to actually block what you're trying to do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, while it seems fair, it's also like I always feel like there's this risk of it being unbalanced somehow.
I get it, man.
Or it could
That's
even
fair.
be like this is a bad matchup or something, you know? But I don't know. No one ever plays the same game enough to ever know.
Isn't that the real mystery of tabletop games?
It is. Well, because it's also like I played tabletop games in ye olden days before Kickstarter meant there was a new game coming out every month or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was you would have a clique and you'd all play the same game like
For
once
weeks.
a week
Yeah.
for a year, and you
Like
get to
D&D.
and you get it'd be like D&D, but you play other stuff and you get to the point where you'd be like, oh, that move was a mistake, like, you know, because
Yeah.
you just know what's happening.
Yeah.
And so, but there's so many games and so many cool games to play that stuff like this, where if, you know, Taskmaster is twice as good as Loki, we would not have played enough games to figure it out, because we'll be like, let's do Disney villain Villainous next time.
Villainous.
So
what is your final grade on this? Being your first time.
man, just from looking at it, I was pretty stoked about it, but now having played it, I feel like it didn't live up to my expectations.
Okay.
But it's good. I would play again, but I would definitely just want to be a different character.
Right.
And I'd want you to play a different character. But then again, I know if it was flipped, if I lost, I'd be like, I'm doing it again. I'm going to get Taskmaster right next time.
Yeah,
So,
I get it. But see, that's...
yeah, but that's the thing, is that like each combination is like a new game, and the number of players with the different combinations makes it like a different game every time.
Yeah.
So I get the appeal there. It's pretty good. I would recommend it to someone who's like, should I play this? But just to shed a little light on who I am as a gamer.
Yeah.
There's not enough dice in this. I like rolling dice a whole lot. I don't
Surprised you don't like Wingspan more.
I do like Wingspan a lot.
A lot? As much as I do, though.
I don't know. We haven't played together yet.
That's true.
I only
Dude,
played one time.
I played Wingspan. I played it any opportunity I get, and like I got my mom in on it, and it's like one of the best experiences, no joke, I've ever had at a table with a game.
Yeah.
Like, I love that game so much, and I don't know what it is, because it's like a super simple game.
Oh yeah.
Like, it looks crazy complicated, but like really when you sit down and you're playing it,
It's really good.
it's very simple, very easy to learn, very easy to play. Like, it's like one of my favorite games of all time since I've started getting into this. Since you started getting me into this stuff, man. Tabletop games.
Guilty as charged.
Making...
I gotta keep you
of the
above the
sausage.
board, man.
Yeah, it's true. Kind of would you be if you didn't?
Wingspan, I was like, a bird watching game? That's token, like set collecting? I was like, these
Yeah.
are not things that get me excited.
Yeah.
But I was at like I was actually at a work conference, and it was like after hours, like someone was like, we're going to have board games in this room if you want to come play. And I was like, everyone's talking about Wingspan. The other half of the room's playing like party games. You know, I'll play party games, but I like them more with people I know, because when I'm playing a game, I'd rather play a strategy game than like a guess what my favorite color is game. And these guys were like playing Wingspan. I was like, well, it's a hot item. I'll try it. And I was like, oh, snap. This is really good.
Such a good game. Like I said, just one of the best games.
We'll get it to the table. We'll be above that board soon.
But yeah, I love it so much that I bought the version of it on... yeah, it's actually my wife. No, I bought the Switch version of it. And I played online against some people. Got my butt handed to me a few times. But I also handed a few people their butt.
The great butt exchange.
Yeah.
So, were you picking up new tricks from playing online that you hadn't seen before?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like,
that's pretty cool.
The whole, like...
I always like that.
Holding on to, like, certain species of birds to play until, like... Kind of like, just like, it's like, this is the in-game bird card that I'm going to play, you know?
Oh, neat.
It's going to get me, like, tons of points in the 4th round. That's going to, like, there's no way you'll be able to catch up kind of deal.
Nice.
But, like, you, like, play at average pace up until that round so that everyone is, like, playing with you. I'm competitive. I'm going to beat you, but, you know, no one's really blown anyone out of the water. But then in the 4th round, you're all of a sudden you play, like, 2 or 3 species of birds, and you're like, you have triple the points. You're like, there's no way you're going to catch up now. Like, it's over. It was the 4th round. I've done that a few times. Nice. It's always fun when people get mad.
Yes.
I've had people rage quit because I've done that like in the 2nd round. I've just been like been impatient, but like, bam! Anyway, well, I'm glad that it didn't leave a super sour taste in your mouth.
No. It's not bad. If somebody was like, you want to play Villainous, I'd be like, sure. It didn't break my top 10 list.
Yeah, well, that's fine. There's another one that I put on my list that we should have on the show. Macro Micro City. Have you heard about this?
No.
Crime City. It's basically a giant thing of Where's Waldo, but there's like tiered stored missions where you have to like search this like map and like mark clues to solve random crimes and mysteries and stuff like that. So it's like an adult version of the initiative without the puzzles.
An adult version.
Apparently, it's like not family friendly. Like, it's not like over the top, like stupid.
Oh,
but it's
not like adult bookstore adult.
No.
Okay.
No. They just said, the review I read, they're like, don't play it with your 5-year-old or your 6-year-old, because it looks like it's family friendly, but it's not. They have themes like, you know, infidelity, abuse, you know, like stuff like that in it.
Scratching off the 10 Commandments.
Yeah. Yeah, as one does when they're searching for crime in a city. So, you know, before we sign off, I feel like there's a couple more things that we probably had on our list.
We don't have to, the game's over.
Yeah?
We can call it a day.
What else we got?
We still haven't talked about Dexter. And you're halfway through Hit Monkey, is that what you said?
Oh, yeah.
So let's let you catch up.
We'll
play another one before Christmas, right?
You sure? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I can wait to talk about Hit Monkey. I feel like it's good. I feel like we should wrap it up.
Okay.
We'll just never talk about Dexter. We'll just always talk about talking about Dexter.
That's the whole joke. We're going to have another spin-off show called Talking Dexter.
Yeah.
Where we talk about anything but Dexter.
All right, well, that's episode 2 in the books. And Above the Board with Josh.
And Phil.
Thanks for listening.
And just keep it above board.
Keep it above the board, always.
You're better at that, using the actual name. Keep it above the board.